Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, an upcoming game being developed by Game Labs, which is based in the late 1800s, early 1900s, where you get to design warships and fight them. The game is currently in early access, and we are currently playing through the sort of alpha version of the campaign that they have in the game so far, which is a war between Britain and Germany. It is September of 1891, so the war's been going on for about 21 months now, and we have been thrashing the British Navy pretty convincingly. They only have a handful of major ships left, although they just did recently commission some new warships, and so it'll be interesting to see if we see anything new in this upcoming battle or if it's just more of the same. Now, we do have a coastal alarm. It looks like the enemy is raiding our coast, although it, based on the map, looks more like they're raiding Denmark. Maybe, I guess part of Schleswig-Holstein might be up there. But in any event, it looks like we are about to be fighting the British in a fairly major battle. We've got two battleships of our own, the Kaiser Wilhelm II and the Württemberg, both 9,000-ton pre-dreadnought battleships, and we have three torpedo boat destroyers of the Death class, I think. We'll be going up against the British battleship Erin of 10,400 tons, the light cruisers Cairo and Manchester, and then a couple of torpedo boat destroyers. Now, we may have an advantage in terms of the number of battleships that we have, but the British battleships do carry heavier guns, and so we'll see how this fight plays out. Let's go ahead and jump in. And thank you, ready to go. Appreciate the kind words. I really need to get like soundproofing and stuff in this room. I think that would help some audio a bit. All right, so enemy smoke spotted to the northwest, so it's a little bit off to our left. Württemberg has 9-inch guns with 5-inch secondaries, 4-inch secondaries, and 3-inch tertiaries with torpedo tubes. In company with Kaiser Wilhelm II. Amusing that we have a battleship named, I guess, when did Kaiser Wilhelm II take over? Was he in charge by 1891, or was that, I can't remember exactly what year. Why are these guys, they're set to screen, but why would they either, they're like double on a, what do you guys, what kind of screen is that? Whatever. Let's go ahead and speed things up and see if we can close with the enemy. I'm going to turn toward northwest. Looks like the weather daytime, it's evening. It's overcast. There's a light breeze and smooth waves. So good waves reduces accuracy apparently by 2.5%. Light breeze has a 0% accuracy impact. Overcast reduces accuracy, and daytime being in the evening reduces accuracy. Whoa! Slow things down. We've already engaged with the enemy. They're at 2.5 kilometers just as we spot them. This is an enemy light cruiser here, based on the old design. I think these are 6 or 7-inch guns and turrets along this light cruiser design. We've spotted that. We also have spotted another light cruiser over here, and they're already blazing away at us. So we've got to be real careful because those light cruisers could easily get in on us and torpedo us. I'm going to have this torpedo boat detach, and we're going to go ahead and try and make a torpedo attack on the enemy. And then we're also going to have this torpedo boat. I'm just going to have all of them detach, I guess. These guys stopped, and I had an emergency stop. To avoid a collision, I think, with the battleship. Can I make this guy the lead? Really want, right now this guy's the lead, I think, in the formation. Wait, he's following, whatever, just right, go follow that other guy. Oh, now you're in charge. Okay, whatever. All right, so we are battling away, and we're going to move it on here. We're going to close with the light cruiser, which is already taking some pretty heavy damage. Württemberg, turn away. Range is getting way too close. You're basically inside torpedo range now. go hard over to make an emergency turn to avoid enemy torpedoes. Torpedo boat death is going to eat enemy fish. Shit. But it's firing its own as well. I don't care if I lose a torpedo boat if I get an enemy light cruiser. We fired one torpedo. That's it. Fire them both. Nice. Nice big explosion there on the Manchester. She's gonna go down. You should have another torpedo on there. You're gonna sink real soon, probably. Although maybe not. Oh, shit. Never mind. Well, the enemy's firing another torpedo off their other light cruiser. I don't think I'm gonna be able to turn hard enough. Oh, they're gonna miss. Nice. Alright, battleship straighten out. Can you get that rear tube out? No. Alright. Looks like our battleship fired its own torpedo. Württemberg's gonna double back. Firing 2 torpedoes off at the Cairo. I really would have rather you hold those torpedoes. I should have told you not to fire anything. Oh, no, 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 no. Where are you going? Ah! God, my formation's a mess. Alright, Manchester's going down. So we got the first light enemy cruiser. Our battleship formation is absolutely broken. I broke my own line. The death is basically, it's recovering its float damage and structure a bit. And this is just proof. Torpedo boats, if you took a torpedo to a torpedo boat, a 200-ton ship, that guy would be sinking. Like, they should not be recovering. Torpedo boats are way too durable in this game. Alright. Meanwhile, Württemberg, go ahead and fire at the Cairo. It's like right there. Cairo's firing torpedoes. Emergency. Hard over on the S4. Can you avoid it? Rudders all the way over. Torpedoes gonna miss, I think, just by a little bit. Oh, maybe not. Ah, God damn it. It didn't even look like it made contact there. Also, that would never happen. Torpedoes don't blow up running parallel to the target. But, whatever. Alright. So TB Death is basically dead in the water. TBS4 is also, although not sinking yet. Kaiser Wilhelm II. You know what? You probably need to detach because you're way out of formation. There's no point in trying to hold it. Enemy battleship is firing on our torpedo. Sure, go ahead. Alright, Württemberg has torpedoes on it. Does the enemy? The enemy battleship does not have torpedoes. Württemberg does. So I'm going to switch targets to the Erin, which is almost inside a kilometer, and have the Württemberg close with it. Württemberg. The S7 is also going to come up behind our battleship. Should we ram this guy? Should we go for a ram? I mean, it's dumb, but it could be fun. All ahead, flank speed. Ram the bastard. Oh, I think I'm gonna miss him. Hard over. Should have a bow torpedo tube that should be firing by now. Yeah, we're gonna pass just behind him, I think. Or we'll glance off his stern. Ramming speed. Yeah, we missed. Tell me why you're not firing your torpedo again, though. I got the torpedo set to aggressive. Oh, but our torpedo boat's gonna fire 2 fish at the enemy battleship. He also has reloads because of that design. So bye-bye, enemy battleship. 2 fish are gonna hit you midships. Boom! Boom! A 3rd torpedo. Did that come from our battleship? It eventually did fire off one of its fish. And very quickly, 3 torpedoes into a pre-dreadnought battleship, and it's gonna sink. Oh. Alright, let's ram this guy. We're gonna eat probably at least 1 torpedo if the enemy has any left, although he may have already fired off his torpedoes. We can go for a ram here, right? If the enemy doesn't sink before we get there. This enemy cruiser is in some deep trouble. God, our battleships are so slow. I'm really bad at geometry. I'm gonna probably miss this guy too, right? No, we should get him. He's turning into me, that's part of the problem. Ramming speed! Aha, enemy ship sank. This torpedo boat's gonna eat another fish because it has like no speed right now. I have it set to hard over, but he's not. He's basically dead in the water. Rip. Yeah. Well, we're gonna lose a torpedo boat, but the enemy's lost 2 light cruisers and a battleship. I don't see where their torpedo boats went. So that's a pretty good day for us. Did the Kaiser Wilhelm take a fish? Or was it just from the ramming? She looks rather low in the water. Whole front of this ship is burned out, but overall the stats are okay. All right, let's speed things up. I'm assuming the enemy torpedo boats are probably running away. But they're not really worth all that much, so I'd call that a damn decisive victory. There she goes under. Battleship is slipping beneath the waves. Rule Britannia, lol. Well, we gotta still be close to the enemy because we've got the ×5 speed, which means that we're relatively close. Where is it? Oh, they're way behind us. The torpedo boat Death might get killed by it. I think my ships are going to collide. I just like quickly told them to turn around and go that way. You never want me in charge of your ships. They're bound to... Oh, there's gonna be another collision! Never give me control of your navy. Unless you want bumper car battleships. Okay, I'm kind of annoyed that, like, my own orders can't override what the AI thinks is the best collision avoidance. Because I think I could, oh shit. Well, you're not moving, so you're gonna die. Oh, they missed. They shot too far ahead of you. Okay. Well. All right, this torpedo boat. Yeah, you've still got 2 fish. Enemy torpedo boat, we're gonna chase you down. How fast can he go? Oh, slow down. All right, so the enemy torpedo boats. This guy's much closer. We'll go for the contest here and the thorn for our other ship, I guess. Charging into the torpedo range with battleships against TB is probably a disastrously dumb idea. Is anybody else getting this weird flickering in the top of the screen? It's just like on the horizon level, and if I have overlays there, it doesn't affect the overlay, so it's definitely the like in-game. Oh. You just fire your torpedo off like that? That was probably not a great decision. You're too far away and on a bad angle, and the enemy ships are pretty damn maneuverable. Alright. Got some penetrations here. That's weird. It's flickering on my screen. Maybe Discord's not picking it up. I don't know. It's something to do with the game, though. Okay. Oh, is that torpedo gonna actually hit? Ah, so close. Our torpedo boat's fish just barely missed. Said it was probably a bad idea. Enemy fired a torpedo back at us. Hard over, Württemberg. Also, I think in one of the recent patches they did improve torpedo avoidance by AI. Switching leader and formation makes some sense. Like, I understand the logic behind why the AI does it. The idea is supposed to be your battleship or your lead ship in your formation takes a heavy amount of damage. That fish is going to hit. Is going to take a heavy amount of damage, and so they turn out of formation. Like, it makes some sense. The problem is the way it's executed. You have it just. I just think it's very poorly executed. All right, this TV looks way worse than it is, I guess. Württemberg shouldn't sink here with just one fish. Death can't really catch up, doesn't have the speed. All right, let's speed things up. No more fish for TB7. Württemberg lost an engine. But yeah, in my opinion, torpedo boats in this game are massively overpowered. Looks like the contest burned through. So all of their ships, and again, I shouldn't know this unless someone's being really diligent about counting torpedoes, but their ships are apparently all out of torpedoes. How we would know that? I don't know. But somehow we do. So now I don't really have to worry. I can just try and close as, you know, much as I can. Although they obviously have the speed advantage. And then go from there. Alright, so Thorn's taking some structure damage. Float damage is pretty heavy on contest. Can we ram you? I'm a big fan of ramming. Although she might sink on her own. And I'm dead in the water. So much for that. Why would I end the battle? Let's give me an end battle option. There we go. Contest is sinking. Well, if they have no torpedoes, let's have the Kaiser Wilhelm run over Thorn, if she survives long enough to be run over. She probably won't. She just took a couple of 9-inchers on that last salvo. Yeah. There we go. We just obliterated her with that last salvo. So, 3,000 victory points, 1 torpedo boat, the Death, badly damaged, the S4 was sunk, the enemy lost the battleship Aaron, the cruisers Cairo and Manchester, the torpedo boats Thorn and Contest. Pretty damn decisive victory if you ask me. I don't know why the monitor is flickering. Is that really only on my, like, nobody else is seeing that? Huh. Weird. All right, well. Coastal arms. So we wiped out the enemy fleet. 3,000 victory points for us. The enemy is down to 3 battleships, losing 1 of their 4. And then 24 torpedo boats and 17 light cruisers. They did just complete several light cruisers. We have a pretty decisive advantage in terms of victory points at this point in the war. 26,000 victory points versus 36,000 for the enemy. Just don't know what's going on here. Oh, it's a frame rate limit. That's weird. If I turn off the FPS limit, it goes away for me. Okay. All right, so we won that battle. Yeah, that ship was basically vaporized. And we've got another battle here. We've got a vulnerable enemy convoy. We have 2 armored cruisers, the Blücher and the Stier. Or Steyr, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. And then the Dresden, a light cruiser. And the enemy has an armored cruiser and 2 light cruisers that are coming as reinforcements. That's what the R in brackets means. To try and save a 12 transport convoy. So we're invading enemy waters undetected, close to a large convoy. The enemy reinforcements are close, but we have limited time to attack and destroy all those transports. And it's being fought in the North Sea. Let's go ahead and fight. Enemy smoke spotted to the west, which is kind of already the direction we're going. Our armored cruisers are in column here. You can see they have 4 7-inch guns and 2 turrets, 1 fore, 1 aft. They've got 2 5-inch guns and turrets aft. They've got 4-inch guns in the casemates here along the midships, and 3-inch guns in the superstructure as shields, and then some torpedoes. The 1 light cruiser is technically screening, but I'm just going to have it join the battle formation. Although I guess I'd rather it be out front, but whatever. It'll duck in behind the Blücher. Steyer's in lead. There's the first enemy transport that we spotted. It does look like they have some deck guns here, and oddly placed back toward the bridge. Look like they got 4 guns and shields. I'm guessing those are 3-inchers. Could be 4, but they look kind of small. And the battle is joined. So all of our ships are opening fire. And we'll speed things up, because I don't need to worry too much about enemy transports. Presumably all the rest of the guys are back there, and we'll start spotting them as we get closer. They will add other nations, UD. So like right now the campaign is only Britain and Germany, but the campaign is very much in alpha status, if you will. The campaign is supposed to have peacetime between the wars, where you can, you know, build and manage your fleets, and then, you know, when tensions rise, countries go to war, and then you get to fight with your fleets. Right now, all they have in the campaign is sort of set dates, 1890, 1900, 1910, 1920, where you can fight a campaign between Germany and Great Britain. They have no peacetime. It's just an individual war, nothing else like that. And so, you know, the intent is to make it more like Rule the Waves, where you have all of the peacetime actions going on, and then you know, have a much more dynamic experience. Right now, it does not have that. The game has been in early access for like 2 years, so it's been around for a while, but the campaign just came out a couple of months ago in this current form, so presumably still a lot of work to do on other things in the game. All right, it looks like we're going to sink the Diamond. You can see quite a few enemy ships all showing up here. No sighting of the enemy warships yet, but 12 merchants all in an absolute gaggle with no apparent order or formation. It's almost like it was an anchorage. Like that's almost the feel that you get here, is that they were in an anchorage out at sea or something, because of how haphazard they're all kind of all over. Has gun emplacements on the main deck, puts them in an awkward position. Just say it's like a Q ship or something, I don't know. All right, so it looks like our ships have split their fire between these two, the Indefatigable and the Achilles. I can't imagine naming a merchant ship the Indefatigable or Achilles. Those are warship names, not merchants. I'm sure someone's done it, but it doesn't seem right. One of the most famous frigates of the Age of Sail, and I guess by this point in history in this game it wouldn't be a battle cruiser yet, but still. All right, so the Achilles is going down. The Indefatigable is next. That's going to be 3 of their 12 merchies. All right, let's go ahead and slow down for a second. I'm going to go ahead and break the the Dresden off. Send the Dresden off to cut off the Witherton's move. The Dresden is ideal for merchant ship hunting. She has a broadside of like 7 or 8 4-inch guns here, all in individual mounts all along the side of the ship. Rapid firing, high speed, you know, perfect in my opinion. If we had a strategy element to the game's campaign, it would be perfect for commerce rating, I think. Meanwhile, those 2 ships are going, or those 3 ships are going down, and so we've switched our fire to the Venomous with the light cruiser targeting the Witherington. All right, we'll speed things back up. The enemy is shooting back, but we're not really taking much damage, if at all. I don't see a single hit on any of these ships yet. All right, so we'll sail parallel to the Venomous, still out of torpedo range, keeping those torps safe in case we run into the enemy warships. Still doing it. I haven't played this a lot since I got my new monitor, which is playing in 1440. So I guess it could be a resolution or a refresh rate thing. It's not as bad as it was when I had a 60 frame rate limit, but still kind of odd. All right, so we sank the Venomous. I guess that's maybe a bug. I could report to them and ask what's going on. We're moving a fire onto the Zealous. And then the Blucher is actually targeting some of the ships in the middle of the convoy. Let's go ahead and detach Blucher as well and send her into the middle of the convoy. So we've got to try and get all these guys before they get like all separated from each other, so that we're not like chasing down enemy ships too willy-nilly. The side effect of that is, though, if we run into enemy warships, as we can see heavy shells now cruising in on the Dresden, we obviously don't want to be too spread out. Witherington's going to sink here in a sec. The shells, meanwhile, it looks like the Albatross and the Nubian both sank. Witherington is sinking. Dresden is switching fire over to the Nubian. Enemy warships spotted out here. And finish the Zealous and take out the Carey's Fort, then we'll have, I think, gotten most of the ships that are starting to get away. We did just fire a torpedo on the Zealous. That's a waste. Blucher is cutting into the formation. I should tell her to switch fire. Sylvia, that torpedo is going to hit an already sinking ship. And we'll target the Carey's Fort, whatever it's called. All right, slow things down a bit. So Dresden, let's go ahead and target the Michael. Any other warships up this way? We're a little bit too spread out for comfort. So Blucher can definitely take out Nubian and Albatross, I think. It gets straddled by enemy fire. So we are firing a torpedo on Nubian, which may make her go down quickly. Albatross is also being targeted. There's one enemy transport that's made it under the smoke of the light cruiser Ditto. Ditto, is it? And then the Steer is still tracking down the Carey's fort. Dresden's going for the Michael. That fish hit the front of the Nubian. Albatross is taking considerable damage. Albatross sinks. Hey Tortuga, what are you asking? I had literally just been talking to the chat for like 5 minutes and took a short break to focus on the battle. Carey's fort is being sunk over here. So we're going to turn the Steer back. We'll double back, get her to try and get closer to the other ships. I'm way too spread out here. Hey, Santa Claus. Welcome. Ditto. Dido. I'm in prime concentration mode. I don't know. I'm just bad at this whole streamer thing, maybe. Alright, so that's another compartment flooding. We need one more compartment, I think, to sink the Nubian here. Just one more salvo. Structurally, it might just burn out. Dresden can just go for the one remaining transport all by itself. Blucher turn back and go for it too. I'm definitely in German Wolfpack mode where it's like your primary objective is the enemy merchant ships. Who cares about the enemy warships? All right, so just one enemy transport left. The Black Prince. These are all like historically famous warship names. I had a near heart attack where it said sinking. Oh, the Steer's going in circles because I was just going too fast. But it's the British transport it sank. Okay. Black Prince is not in great shape. Dresden's doing damage to her. The other guys are all shooting at her as well. And then we've got these, what was it? We've got the Castor, protected or light cruiser, depending on what your preferred terminology. The Dido, another protected light cruiser. And then I think there's a CA around here somewhere. Yeah, back here. The Cornwall. That's the right name for an armored cruiser. We worship the ground that I walk on. What a podcast he's on too. Yeah, Tortuga, we should do an episode. It's been a little while. Okay. But Wolfpack stole his air horn intro. He was using it on his Hell Let Loose stream earlier today. I was warning him of a DMCA strike against him. When he aired that on SMS, it immediately became copywritten. All right. Also, I hear you're like gonna do some kind of chair review video with him, which I never got invited to. So just saying. Feeling a little left out here. All right, so we're finishing off the Black Prince here. What's the German word for admiral? I don't know. He said you were going to do a video with him, Tortuga. He said maybe you would. All right, Black Prince is done. Mission accomplished. Kill 100% of the enemy merchants. All right, now I have no idea what I'm going to do. We're all spread out. We've got like ships on all sides of the enemy. I don't know who to shoot at. I guess Steer can try and close too. And then we've got like the Dresden out here, which probably shouldn't be going toe to toe with 3 enemy warships. I guess I can turn the Dresden back this direction toward the Blücher to try and get them into supporting position. And then we're turning the Steer toward the Blücher as well. We probably should concentrate fire. Oh shit, torpedo hit. Oh, it's on the Black Prince, which is already sinking. Probably should concentrate fire on one enemy target, right? So let's focus on the armored cruiser here. Okay, Steer's got a good broadside going. Blücher's chasing, and Dresden kind of has a broadside, but at long range for those 4-inchers. But in any event, we're definitely concentrating our fire here. We're doing quite a bit of flotation damage to the Cornwall. She must have really bad bulwarks. Like, they must be cramped rather than... How fast is she? 19 knots, so she's faster than us when she's undamaged. That's a key call out here, because she is definitely not undamaged right now. Two CLs are dropping smoke, but they're both considerably behind. Why is Dresden not turning? Cut speed, Steer, and just you're gonna form nicely into line behind the Blücher. All right, Dresden should be on the other side of the formation. Blücher doesn't seem to be handling terribly well. Cornwall is taking a lot of punishment from shells, but her damage control team, despite the poor bulkhead situation, is actually doing a good job. Admiral? Yeah, they still have the rank of Admiral. Sure, it's pronounced differently. Alright, so 3 compartments flooding right now. I think we need to get 5 or 6 to sink it. Engine damage now for Cornwall as well. We're going to pass the stern of the Cornwall. The British armored cruisers do not carry torpedoes. Looks like we lost a funnel. The rear turret has damage on it, but not bad. Dresden is on the wrong side of the formation to do anything with torpedoes. But we can all just keep firing our guns. A lot of ricochets here. Bad angle, though. Shells hitting the ship on like a 90-degree angle. Probably finish this guy off with a torpedo or 2. Stern shots aren't exactly what I want. Oh, come on. Now Blücher's turning out of formation? No longer the lead. That's the thing I hate. It's just like, we're gonna turn over here. I kind of get it, but I was just complaining about it earlier. And she's not even like structure 86, float 100, so I wish there was an easier way to change who the lead is. Maybe there is, and I just don't know. Now we're turning to avoid a collision, which is never going to happen in the first place, and losing speed. Keep hitting the Cornwall. Blücher, get up there. All right, so Blücher just retook the lead, and Dresden is going to cut in since these guys basically stopped. I'm going to try and move Dresden up parallel to the enemy armored cruiser. The CLs are keeping their distance in this abysmal formation that we've put together. You know what's fun with this game is ammo never is an issue. Like, if you're just designing ships for the way this game works right now, is there's like, you could definitely go low ammo. I've never had ammo be an issue. And that's interesting because especially in the 1890 start, when you're dealing with like pre-Dreadnought stuff, accuracy is terrible, but enemy ships damage control or something is just so bad. Rates of fire generally so low that it doesn't seem to matter. You've had 8 battles, Rex, with damage issues? I have never had one, but... Do you go with light ammo loads on your designs? Okay, so we're just peppering the Cornwall. Slowly doing damage. The enemy CLs keeping a distance. Light ammo and reduced shells. I guess I just normally go with normal. But like, this guy's got 3,200 4-inch shells for its main armament. 464 7-inch shells. And that's with only 4 guns to fire them out of. The barrels are going to run out of, like, rifling before that becomes an issue. Not that the game models barrel life, because it doesn't. Right, throw some smoke, and we won't see us as we come alongside the Cornwall. I don't even know if it's worth firing a torpedo. She's gonna sink anyway. There we go. Armored cruiser sinking. CL's back out this way. We'll turn into them. See if we can close the distance. Blucher's trying to finally get back up to speed. She's chilling at about 12 knots. The steer's moving at 17 from behind. Oh, that's the issue with the Blucher, is one of her funnels is down, so she can't get up to max speed. Okay. Well, we're trying to close. The enemy obviously has a huge speed advantage, so unless we absolutely cripple them, we're not going to catch them with the CAs. Probably should just break steer out on its own. Although she's going to take the lead on this formation. Blucher is just kind of sitting back. We are focusing on the Castor, which is the rear of the enemy line. You can see she is burning stem to stern almost. Charnel House. The metal beams on the deck became so hot they glowed red. Castor's fires have damaged most of the ship, but she's not going to sink. I think maybe there'd be some rounds cooking off. They fire torpedoes? No, it's just a wave. Looks weird. Dresden's trying to catch up on the Castor, which has engine damage and still has fires. So her speed is reduced. Now we've got to be careful with the enemy CLs when we close range, because they do carry torpedoes. And the enemy CLs have considerably heavier shells. So while we have rapid fire advantages, they've definitely got advantages in terms of weight of shells. But Castor sinks. I didn't realize she was that close, but she sinks. And now we've just got the Dido left, which hasn't really taken any damage yet. The Dresden can make 21 knots. Which is better than 2 knots faster than the Dido. So we should be able to close. At least with our CL. While our CA peppers from a distance. There we go. Penetration fire flooding. Flooding will slow them down. Commodore Crimson? I don't know about this era, but Commodore in the Napoleonic eras, which I'm more familiar with because I've read all the Aubrey books and all the Belitho books. Commodore tended to be a temporary position, so it was not a permanent rank. It was a rank that you would receive if you were given a command of a squadron, but you were not yet an admiral. So basically, Commodore is a broad pendant, and you don't have like a particular like flag, at least in the British Navy. You didn't have like the red or blue squadron flags, but essentially you would be a captain. Just your full rank as captain, your normal pay as captain, and then when you're issued an assignment to the squadron to take command of a particular mission with multiple ships in your stead, you'd be given the temporary rank of Commodore. I don't know if they paid them like admirals or if Commodore had its own pay, I'm not sure, but it was a temporary rank, so you would hold that rank as long as you held the command of that squadron. And then as soon as that squadron was, you know, moved on to other missions or was no longer under your command, you would revert back to your full-time rank of captain. Thanks, Charcoal. All right, so Dido should be dead here in a second. We're coming alongside. And we fired a torpedo, which is kind of necessary. They fired a torpedo too. Sink him before... No! I thought I hit the turn button, but apparently not. Either way, battle ends. We win. Okay, I won't let the Dresden sink from the torpedo. I'll just quickly end the battle. So we sank all 12 enemy transports, 2 light cruisers, and an armored cruiser. They damaged the Dresden and the Blücher, and that's another decisive victory for us. So the enemy's not very good in this game. I don't think it'll have carriers in the initial release, whenever that may come. I think it's a long ways away from ready to be released. All right, so we sank another enemy fleet. 2,800 more victory points for us. 1,300 came from the transports, and that gives us 29,000 to 3,600 victory points in this war. The enemy is down to 12 armored cruisers and 13 light cruisers and 24 torpedo boats. The merchant losses, in theory, are supposed to hurt their economy. I'm not sure if they do. That's going to do it for September. Before we end the turn here, we are researching rangefinders, which are 28 months away. We're never going to see those. We're researching cruiser design for a larger hulled cruiser. We've already unlocked 4,000 tonners. The previous limit was 3,500, and we've got one fleet priority sort of in our back pocket to speed up everything else. Currently, we are expanding our dockyards to 11,000 tons. That's going to take about another 7 or 8 months. We also are expending all of our money that we can on transport capacity, crew training, and tech budget. Crew training should, in theory, help us at battles with better crews. Tech budget should make that research happen faster, and transport capacity is basically investing in your economy. Right now, we're at 96% of our merchant marine capabilities, and we're increasing it by 2% per turn, but losses we take obviously slow things down. And so when we sink 12 enemy transports, that affects their transport capacity. Now, I will say the idea of that system working for all nations equally is probably a bit suspect. You know, Britain is much more vulnerable than Germany in an immediate sort of short-term perspective to losing merchant traffic. So that's where we are there. Our naval prestige is 64, which apparently is honorable, and our unrest level is 0, which is respected, and we've got a considerable amount of money in the bank. We are building new ships right now, so those ships we just fought with are repairing. But we have the THG class, which are some 4,000-ton armored cruisers that are currently being laid down and built. They'll all come online at Wilhelmshaven and be ready in about 5 months, if the war's not over by then. So move to October. The war continues. Modern naval formations are unlocked. And it doesn't look like we have any battles right now. So we'll go to November. Port defense. The enemy is threatening Wilhelmshaven. I've never seen this kind of battle before, by the way. The enemy is threatening Wilhelmshaven. We should stop them, or they will surely start bombarding the shore. So we apparently have 4 transports involved. 2 light cruisers, and a battleship. They have 2 armored cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and 5 torpedo boats. But this battle will be for another time. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer, as always, saying thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Sorry things have been a little bit slower lately. Life's been a bit busy. Still want to get to that top 5 videos of 2021 eventually, maybe in February. And we'll continue our other series like Close Combat and War in the Pacific, and this as well. I feel like we're probably coming close to a conclusion on this campaign, but I guess we'll see. Only time will tell. The British still seem to be fighting, and they're actually building ships now. So, you know, maybe things will get a little bit more challenging. We'll see, and we'll find out how this big battle goes in our next episode. Until then, though, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.